Dragon's Dogma 2 is basically Skyrim, and that includes its frame rate becoming a slideshow whenever you go into a crowded area, and yet I can't seem to put it down. So why is that? It's the first time since playing Skyrim that I have felt that same feeling of excitement whenever I'm just wandering the world. This is because it does two things that very few games do. Firstly, it allows for true exploration. You're not just being told where to stand and what to do, you're given your objective and told to go and do it whether you know how to or not. The second thing it offers is a dynamic world where the game systems act independently to the player's actions. But what does this mean? It means that the same way a dragon could randomly land at any moment during your time in Skyrim is the same way that a random troll or griffin can come and attack your entire party. This game has offered me some really interesting experiences that you truly won't believe, so come and join me for my first few hours of Dragon's Dogma 2. I start in a castle sitting on a throne before I quickly realise my character's a narcissist because he's dreaming of being a king when actually he's rotting away in prison. I then meet this angry bald man who I can only assume has deep personal issues going on, which is why he feels the need to continuously insult me.
Come along, you feckless dullards.
I'm then informed by this dude that we're not only prisoners, but we're actually slaves too, so that's fantastic. All things considered though, he had a really positive outlook, and I can see our friendship blossoming into a true bromance. I would be truly devastated if anything happened to him. After me and my new BFF do some menial work, we're greeted by Medusa and told to kill her by the angry bald man, who I guess also has a problem with women in power. So I say the hell with him, slay queen, and proceed to kill her, because according to all Sigma male subreddits, that's the best way to attract a mate. After this, I'm greeted by an elusive woman who tells me to run and jump off a cliff. I think for a minute that the prison definitely isn't up to safety standards, and I'm probably inhaling fumes which are making me hallucinate, but then I remember I'm a slave and have nothing to live for, so I do it anyway. To my surprise, there is actually a griffin down there that stops me plummeting to my death, which is all the evidence I need for the benefits of sniffing toxic fumes. We are then treated to a beautiful view of the land on the back of this majestic flying creature, showing us why nature is truly so incredible, and it's dead. Luckily, I survived the fall, but my BFF wasn't so lucky and ends up drowning next to me. I then meet these knights and go off with them. I'm taken to a village and told that I'm something called the Arisen and a pretty mean dragon stole my heart, which I now need to get back by killing him. I'm also now accompanied by a pawn who is basically my personal slave and really makes me reconsider if I'm any better than the insecure bald misogynist I just escaped from. But not letting little things like ethical and moral dilemmas get in my way, I venture onwards. I'm told that I'm needed in a kingdom called Vernworth, so I make haste and head there. After many days of walking, camping and killing endangered species, we eventually arrive at the kingdom, and I found along the way, in between the nightmare-inducing creatures and constant fear of imminent death, there are actually some really wholesome moments, like when you high-five after battles, or talk around a campfire about your stories. I did find out that my pawn can badmouth me to other players though, and not wanting to ruin my stellar image, I threw him in the river to assert my dominance. In the kingdom, I'm quickly told that I'm actually royalty and somebody else is pretending to be me, so to prove myself, I need to cull a bunch of monsters across the map. En route to our first location, I hear people are in need of help, so I go to help them only to be thrown off the roof by a bird that's on anabolic steroids. Once I recompose myself though, we eventually make it to the first location, where my pawns really show the intelligence that they have by not being able to use a bridge and all killing themselves. The location's eventually cleared though, and en route to our next location we come across a Cyclops which we promptly decide has lived too long and kill it by making it form a bridge and then sending him to his death. We come across another group of hunters who at first appear to run away from us, but soon we realise they're actually running towards the fun of culling more endangered creatures, so, like the heroic and peace-loving group we are, we assist in killing it. I then come across this pawn who isn't dressed in proper monster hunting attire. She tries to talk to me, but not wanting sex out of wedlock, I turn her away, only to call her back when I'm depressed and lonely. At our next location, we meet a friendly Gimp, who I swiftly hire as I don't feel there's enough Gimp representation in games. We save these guards who are underground and ferociously cull the monsters and their kids, because a full job done is a good one. Before we can leave the village though, we have this lion man run up and invade my personal space, telling me the village is under attack by more monsters, so we kill them as well. On the way to our last location, I also find out why you should never mess with an angry medieval Gimp. I then take a moment to admire the beauty of the griffin. Oh look, it's killing me, it must be related to the other one at the beginning. Our last battle turned out to be a real anti-climax, only being a few goblins, which at this point we'd killed so many of it was a historical event. Returning to the kingdom, we're feeling good about ourselves, and I head to bed after a long week's work. Overall, Dragon's Dogma 2 is a game I wasn't sure I'd like at first, but did end up really enjoying. While I haven't completed it yet, and the microtransactions suck, I really would recommend it to anybody interested. New long-form content is coming every Saturday, so make sure you're subscribed, and let me know what games you'd like me to cover next.